5 most insane outburst of gang members in court. George Joel Thomas. Thomas was among 17 defendants facing trial for crimes they committed between 2006 and 2010, such as killings, conspiracy to kill, and racketeering. Their trial concluded at the Western Cape High Court, where 6 other gangsters received life prison terms as part of an agreed sentence of 15 to life behind bars each. Under the Prevention of Organized Crime Act, all the individuals charged were tried for their participation in these crimes. Thomas in particular will serve 7 life sentences concurrently for overseeing crimes over this time frame. Judge Chantel Fortuin stated in her ruling on this case, which concluded with Thomas and his accomplices showing no regret or contrition for their acts, which were designed to instill fear among members of their local communities. Recognizing the devastating consequences of gang violence and organized crime for communities is of great significance. In this instance led by Thomas, their actions not only caused multiple deaths, but also created lasting damage in terms of both fear and safety for residents within his neighborhood. Noteworthy is Thomas' tendency to exploit vulnerable communities and individuals to further their criminal endeavors and to advance their criminal enterprises. Addressing root causes like poverty, lack of education, and job opportunities and social inequality is vital in order to stop organized crime from spreading its destructive effects further and widen its reach. TJ Lane. TJ Lane has become synonymous with an appalling tragedy at Ohio's Chardon High School in 2012. On February 27, 2012, former Chardon High student TJ Lane entered Chardon Middle and opened fire, shooting 3 of his fellow classmates and injuring 3 more before being quickly apprehended by police near his vehicle parked outside. He died a week after this attack was committed, killing 3 of them outright and wounding 3 more before eventually surrendering himself to authorities nearby, where his car had been left parked outside school grounds. Lane was charged with 3 counts of aggravated murder, 2 of aggravated attempted murder, and felonious assault for his involvement in a shooting which took place when he was 17 years old. As an adult defendant, he pled guilty and received 3 life sentences without the possibility of parole. Lane made headlines not just with his actions on that tragic day, but with how his behavior during the trial and sentencing displayed an apparent lack of contrition for what had taken place. As soon as he entered the courtroom, TJ Lane, unbuttoning his shirt, revealed an offensive t-shirt bearing "Killer." This action demonstrated TJ Lane's sick mentality. Families of the victims had an opportunity to confront Lane during his sentencing proceedings, and their statements were heart-rending. One family member lamented, "I will never get to witness my baby brother graduate high school or go to college, let alone marry and have children. Danny could never have become half the man that his murderer could never become." Lane attempted an escape attempt from prison with 2 other inmates in 2014. They managed to scale the fence, but they were quickly caught by police officers. TJ Lane's actions that day in 2012 were monstrous. His lack of regret or desire for escape show just how disturbed his behavior is. Victims' families will never forget what this individual caused, and it's important we remember their stories while honoring their memories. Christopher Lockett. Christopher Lockett, a convicted murderer and member of the Gangster Disciples street gang. In the fall of 2016, Lockett and 4 other gang members killed 33-year-old Christopher Dean, who was once a police informant in California. The gang discovered his past and tortured, sodomized, and shot him twice in the back of the head before stuffing his body into the trunk of a Toyota Camry and leaving it at an Atlanta public transit station. Lockett was sentenced to life without the possibility of parole for his role in the murder of Christopher Dean. In addition to the murder charge, Lockett was also convicted of participating in criminal street gang activity and other felony charges. The gang members beat Dean with a 2x4 and a crowbar for more than an hour in an effort to show other gang members that working as a police witness would not be tolerated. Lockett lured Dean to a home he shared with his brother on Sandy Creek Drive in October 2016 under the guise that he was there for a drug transaction. The other 4 gang members involved in the murder were also convicted and given severe sentences. Clark was given 2 consecutive life sentences plus 5 years, and Green was given life plus 3 years. Both Brooks and Xavier Gibson were given life sentences. Prosecutors stated that none of the defendants had shown any remorse for their actions. The murder of Christopher Dean is a harrowing example of the brutal and ruthless nature of street gangs. It is important to note that joining a gang can lead to a life of crime, violence, and even death. We urge anyone considering joining a gang to think twice and seek help if they are being pressured to join. William Glenn Chun and Mitchell Farkas. William Glenn Chun, commonly referred to by his nickname Big Head Chun, is a member and top leader of Aryan Circle prison gang in Texas and Mississippi. At 40 years old and hailing from Conroe in Texas, Chun was recently found guilty in 2 trials held across both states on charges related to racketeering, conspiracy, and violent crime charges. The Aryan Circle is a race-based and violent prison gang composed of hundreds of members operating throughout the U.S., both inside and outside prison walls. Court documents and evidence presented at Chun's trial revealed his use of his leadership role as highest-ranking Aryan Circle leader to order assaults against rival gang members as well as any individuals cooperating with law enforcement, while using this power to retaliate against law enforcement agents or cooperate against law enforcement officials who cooperated against his views. Chun was sentenced to life for his involvement in these violent crimes in December 2022, while Mitchell Farkas received an even longer 30-year term after assaulting an inmate at United States Penitentiary in Martin County, Kentucky, although Farkas hails from Louisiana but was found guilty by juries in Eastern District, Kentucky. Farkas alleges that his victim violated gang rules, leading to permanent vision loss due to injuries incurred during an assault against them. The Aryan Circle has earned itself a reputation for their violent activities and have been linked with drug trafficking, extortion, and murder. Their members frequently display white supremacist symbols and ideology, which makes them a threat against local communities across America. As the Justice Department steps up its crackdown against violent gangs and their leaders, individuals like William Glenn Chun and Mitchell Farkas face full repercussions of their criminal activities, such as lengthy prison terms that serve as warning to others who might partake in similar criminal pursuits. Darrell Brooks. Darrell Brooks was found guilty of killing 6 and injuring many more after driving his SUV into a Christmas parade in Waukesha, Wisconsin. Brooks' reckless and intentional actions caused the loss of innocent lives that will forever remain an imprint upon our community. In this video, we take an in-depth look into this eventful case. On that fateful day, Brooks drove at speeds exceeding 30 miles per hour in his SUV, plowing through over 70 people at high speed, killing 6 and injuring many more, before intentionally driving his SUV at high speeds into them all and plowing his way forward through more. Prosecution authorities claimed his actions had been intentional, and Brooks was charged and arrested as a result of them. At trial, Brooks decided to represent himself despite warnings by the judge about potential legal ramifications of doing so. Unfortunately, his behavior in court was both unpredictable and disruptive, multiple times being removed for interruptions or outbursts of fury from court officials. Brooks showed his true colors during his trial, laughing during witness testimony and even making threats that he'd kill one witness who testified against him. At times, he became overheated during court sessions due to how the district attorney mispronounced defendant. Brooks had an unpleasant confrontation with Judge Kelleher and began punching his fist against her face, prompting the latter to express concern for her own safety and further shock the community as it grappled with its aftermath. His behavior only compounded this trauma for them all. Brooks was ultimately found guilty on all 76 charges and received 6 life sentences, plus over 700 additional years of incarceration from a jury verdict. Thanks for watching the video till the end. If you liked today's video, subscribe to our channel and hit the like button for more updates.